Okay, a lot today. 2 cocktails plus cold brew and vanilla syrup, and I'm setting shit on fire. Here we go. Hello imbibers, welcome back to my bar. Today I'm doing a few things, but all things are coffee and bourbon related. We're getting started with the Revolver cocktail, the modern classic coffee Manhattan that features a flamed orange peel. And right after that, I'll put a spin on the classic vodka-based Espresso Martini with a cold brew martini featuring cold brew and house-made vanilla syrup. Don't worry, I will teach you how to make both. Let's get started. In a mixing glass, add 2 ounces of bourbon, a ½ ounce of coffee liqueur, and 2 dashes of orange bitters. Add ice and stir. Pour and garnish with a flamed orange peel. Okay, so you can't help but notice how the smell of peeling an orange fills a room. Well, that's orange oil in the air, and under the right circumstances, it is flammable. I'm not gonna lie, the flamed orange technique did take a little bit of practice. It takes a little bit of frustration, but with persistence, you can also do it too. The technique requires that you cut a small coin off of the side of an orange. Try not to cut down to the juice, and then you hold that orange coin, orange side down, 2 inches over a match, and then squeezing the orange releases the orange's oils into the cocktail. Now, a lot of the recipes I looked up put this cocktail in something like a martini glass, but I opted for more of a brandy snifter for this cocktail. I wanted to give it sort of a wine glass treatment. It provides for a better opportunity in which to smell the cocktail. By the way, smells amazing. In researching this cocktail, I find a lot of recipes including Kahlua. I happen to not have any Kahlua on hand right now. I decided to switch to a coffee Amaro. That's just delicious. If you love bourbon and you love coffee, you probably like oranges. Meet your new favorite. Now onto the Espresso Martini riff, where I'm swapping vodka for bourbon and including cold brew and vanilla syrup. Let's get started with cold brew. In a French press, add a little bit of water, 1 cup of coarsely ground coffee beans, and fill with water. Place the plunger on top of the French press, but do not plunge. Refrigerate for 24 hours. Plunge your coffee and strain. Now on to the second how-to of the video, and this is vanilla syrup, which is a lot simpler than it may sound. Like simple syrups in the past, this one will also be made in a jar, so if you have one, grab it, and let's make a simple syrup. In a jar, add 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, and ½ of a scraped vanilla bean. Close the lid and shake until all the sugar has dissolved. Now, of course, if you don't mind having those black vanilla specks floating around in your simple syrup, feel free to leave it in. For reasons that are purely aesthetic, I try to filter out as much as I can of the vanilla bean. It does take time. If you do want your simple syrup clear too, I recommend cheesecloth, or you can even use a coffee filter if you have some of those lying around. Well, now we've got our cold brew and our vanilla. Let's make a cold brew martini. In a cocktail shaker, add 1½ ounces of bourbon, 1 ounce of cold brew, 0.75 ounces of vanilla simple syrup, and ½ an ounce of Cafe Amaro. Add ice and shake. Strain into a coupe glass and garnish with 3 whole coffee beans. And that is the cold brew martini. Not only does it smell really good, but if you put your ear up to it, it's like a soft bubbling crackle, like a bowl of Rice Krispie treats. Let me see if I can hold it up to my mic. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear it? This cocktail sounds good, tastes good, and smells good. This cocktail is a full sensory experience. Well, that's the big ass bourbonist and coffee episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I'm enjoying this cocktail. Too good. I am in oh, see, this is what happens. This is what happens when you drink and you film, you just start spilling shit everywhere. Well, before I get a sensory overload, you all make yourself one of these and I will see you in the next Bourbonist video. Till next time, cheers.